What's up, everybody? It's your girl Kiwan, and I am back with Family or Fiance Season 4, Episode 3, Tiara and Aikeem, Crazy Angry Love. Y'all, before we start, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell button so you can be updated on the videos that I drop. And y'all, please make sure y'all like up my videos so I can be in the algorithm of things if you like it on your way in, whether you like it on your way out. But please make sure we're liking up the videos. We just want to get a lot of likes and just keep me circulating. That would be great. So y'all, we meet Tiara and Aikeem. They met when they were 12. They both was going through things with their families. I thought it was a trauma bond, but it could be, but so apparently Akeem mom was on drugs, very heavy, and his anger issues caused a problem in their relationship because of it. So they have been engaged since July 3rd of last year. He's 25 and she's 26. They broke up because they wasn't getting along. So this is a pattern. They actually met. I want to say they were young, but they really got together in high school. And so throughout high school, up until their adult life, up until where they are now, they have been back and forward, off and on. And their relationship has been a lot. It's been a lot. So he shuts down when he's not being heard. And his mom, he said that his mom had him at 17, and she was, it's the drugs. So, but that caused her to go out at night and live, look for, I guess the way he said it was, she would sleep throughout the day, and because of the drugs, she would be out all night. So because of that, he really had to fend for himself. He'd have to fend for himself. And so he said when he came home from school, he had to really take care of things around the house. And at the time, he was only 8 years old when all of these things, I think, it started to happen. So he was that's just been, I guess, the rest of his upbringing. I don't know. So he said he questioned whether or not his mom wanted him, or because or if he was enough for his mom because of the drugs. And his mom. Oh, so he says that now his mom, I guess the doctors have her on something to kind of help her wean herself off of the drugs. But Tiara says she has never seen his mom sober. So she asked Tiara, how was your childhood? Tiara said she had a pretty good childhood. And she said that, 2006, she was shot at a nightclub, at a little club, I guess like a teenage bop club or whatever. And her cousin was with her, and her cousin was unalived, and she said her cousin passed away in her lap. So then Tracy asked them, who all is coming in their family. So for Hakeem's side of the family, it's his granny. Her name is her name is Venus. His mom, her name is Venus, and his aunt Nicole. And on Tiara's side of the family, it's her mom Celeste, her best friend Chandria, and her godbrother Eric. So his task is to pack baggage. So her family is going to ask him a series of questions, and then Tiara has red hot questions where his family is going to ask her a series of questions. So Hakeem mom says she don't think her son is ready to be married, and that he usually runs everything by her. And she definitely showed up, because this is when the family was showing up, and she kind of showed up on an energy, like she just had an energy about herself. And that's all I'm gonna say. She said that she doesn't too She said, ugh. She says he runs everything by Tiara now, and he does it too often. Um, no, yeah, and she said he used to, he used to talk to her, but now he tells Tiara everything, and it's like this is his fiance. So it just kind of, to me, this is just this all of this whole thing. It feels like the mama has a disdain for Tiara because she didn't care for him in a way that Tiara, I guess, is somewhat caring for her son. And it seems as though Tiara can play both the mom role, play the role of Akeem's mom and his girlfriend. That's what it just feels like to me. So Grandma Venus says before she gives her blessing, she wants Akeem to be stable in who he is. And I can appreciate, when I tell y'all, I appreciate that grandma in this entire episode, because she did not uphold him. She did not, she held everybody to task when it was warranted. So she says that she wants him to be stable in who he is, and she have to watch him stand in his own self. And so Tiara's family come, and she greets her family. Shadara says that Tiara and Akeem have a very unique relationship, and we know that that's just kind of keep it cute for it's not the best. But Eric says it's like a roller coaster ride. Eric is the god brother. And I will say this. I like how her family embraced him, but she got that embrace, but Tiara got the embrace from Grandma Venus. Not everybody. Not the auntie or Mama Venus. So Mama Venus walks off while all the, everybody's coming in, everybody's meet or whatever. She walks outside. So at this point, I feel like she's trying to disassociate herself with everybody. And so he goes out to get his mom to come back in. And it almost made me low-key feel like she did it on purpose so her son can come run behind her. It's so weird. And I could be wrong, but it just feels the way to me. So Mama Venus comes in the house, and Celeste and Mama Venus speak, and it was very awkward. So everybody goes into the living room, and Tiara and Akeem ask them what are their concerns. So Shadara's concern is they don't communicate and listen to what each other is saying. She says that she says that Tiara is headstrong, and that she needs to listen to what others are saying and understand what they are saying. She tells Akeem, nobody is out to hurt you, and you have to express yourself in a better way. So Miss Celeste says both of their communications they need to work on both parties need to work on their communication, and that sometimes Tiara can come off really strong and Akeem can be so angry, and he has to learn to listen. And so Eric says that Akeem his concern is that he wants him to mend a relationship with his mom, because when Akeem is mad about his mom, he takes it out on Tiara. That's a lot. And so we get to Akeem's family. Grandma Viola says Tiara and his mom, and she says Tiara and Mama Viola have a history, and she feels like Tiara antagonizes Akeem to say things to his mom, and that's not a good thing. And I was really taken aback by that, because she had their back the entire time. I'm gonna keep going. So Nicole is Auntie Nicole. She feels like he don't put his mom in a place of prestige, and he needs to have balance with the two women in his life. Now, I will say this. I agree. He has to have a healthy balance between his mom and his fiance. But You cannot expect somebody, and as a black people, y'all always want people to just turn off their emotions, turn off their experience, and put this person who has hurt me repeatedly, the person that's supposed to love me the most, you want me to put them on some pedestal. And because that's my mom or that's my dad, or but that person ultimately hurt me. And so I'm just supposed to put them on this pedestal, or as she called it, a place of prestige. You want me to give them all of this respect that in some ways that person feels like they're not deserving of, because they don't apologize. They didn't apologize for their behavior. They hadn't had changed behavior. They just continued to keep doing what they were doing. Now, this is the moment where I've seen most people are like Auntie Nicole. Even though the mom or the dad or whoever was wrong was dead as wrong, you are still going to take their side, and you're going to minimize or invalidate the person who was wronged. You're going to invalidate their emotions, because it's easier to invalidate their emotions rather than tell the person who wronged them that they were wrong and hold their feet to the fire. I don't know. So anyway, Mama Venus says she don't want their relationship to come in between his relationship and her relationship. So when Mama Venus says she want to have dinner with him, it doesn't mean that I want to have dinner with me, you, and Tiara. She just wanted to be them. She don't want it to feel like Tiara has input, or she don't want Tiara to have any input in it, or she doesn't want Tiara's input and influence over him. And she also feels like he shouldn't have to ask her, can he go have dinner with his mom, because she's his mother, and he should carve out that time because that's what she wants. And I was like, this is so insane. How you didn't do your part. Now you're trying to bombard your way in his life by any means necessary. I mean, that's the disrespect. Like, I don't know. I know he loved his mom, and his mom loves him. But I think there is that way where that mom feels like that fiance is taking what she's trying to get from her son. And it just feels like she's trying to make up for what she's done, but it's not coming out right. Like, you're not doing it right. You're excluding this woman. And that's not okay. That's not okay, because it feels like you're not okay with those people's relationship, and you have to be okay with it. And it's like you're trying to win a spot to be number one in his life, and that's not okay. Like, he's going to love you regardless, but there is going to be a number one woman in his life. You have to be okay with that. I don't know. This is just my guesstimation. So they go outside and everybody does their assignment. They do the group assignment. So the question to Aikeem was, what do he think about Tiara and his mom? He notices how his mom and Tiara, they both feel away because the mom wants him to spend time with her, or Tiara wants him to spend time with her. It's like they're having a hard time adjusting that he's gonna go be with his mom, and he's gonna go be with his fiance. So Celeste reiterates to Aikeem what his mom said about disinviting Tiara when she wanted to have a private lunch with her son. And Miss Celeste said, I would never do that. I would never do that to you. And so Aikeem's response was, I have to tell my mom, we are a package deal. So then Mama Venus asks, why can't Aikeem come to her? Tiara says he feels like he's going to hurt his mom's feelings. and he doesn't want to be disrespectful to her. But while you're doing that, you're hurting the person that you're with. You're hurting the person that you're with because you're lashing out over here at her, or you're shutting down over here at her. But we'll get to that later. And so Mama Venus says he needs to be able to come to me and say whatever it is he needs to say. And so Grandma Venus was like, you won't be receptive to it because sometimes the truth hurts. I was like, wow. And so Mama Venus is getting very irritated and she is ready to leave at this point. So back over at the other session, Aikeem says that he should have told his mom how he felt when it was happening early on as a kid. He should have told her, you left me at home with no money, no food, so he had to do what he had to do. Miss Celeste tells Aikeem that you shouldn't have to do that as a kid. That's abandonment. I was here for the way her family embraced him, even though I know they have problems and I know maybe sometimes they may have to step in. And, it was just the way that they embraced him versus how Tiara, the only one that was there to embrace Tiara was Grandma Venus. So Mama Venus says, it seems as if she's the main focus of the problem, and you are. You created this space of abandonment. Just like his dad. You and his dad created this space. And people don't just get over that because you think that they should get over that, because you are now getting to a better place as far as your lifestyle. And you think that he should be there, and you think he should accept you with open arms, even though you did what you did. It took years for him to become this person that's in front of you, and it's going to take years for him to get to a healthier space. And you're going to have to be okay with that. So Tiara tells her it's time. Tiara tells Mama Venus that it is kind of true. You have set the tone for him to be in this space. So here go Auntie Nicole. There is always that auntie that never holds this person accountable, and that is not okay. So Auntie Nicole tells Tiara she don't know what Mama Venus been through to make her who she is. And it's like, you want to be mad at this woman because your sister doesn't really see it for her. And you cannot do that. Now, I'm sure that there are some underlying things that has happened that has caused that, what's his name? Aikeem has probably shared with them. That's probably created a wall or triangulation between these women. So I'm just going to say that. That's what I think. So we get back over to Aikeem, and the question for him is, do you think the reason for your upbringing is what make you defensive? He says yes. And he says that he's the type of man he is the type of person who had to deal with a lot of stuff by himself. He had to do everything by himself. So he doesn't trust anybody to come, even though he wants to, but he doesn't trust anybody to come and do right by him because he's always done right by himself. So Tiara says the past comes out in their relationship, and it comes out in spurts. So Aunt Nicole at this point and Mama Venus, and I'm paraphrasing, I think I paraphrased this one, act like they don't understand Aikeem's animosity towards his mother. Aunt Nicole says she has never seen it. And I was like, really? You have never seen it? Child. And Mama Venus starts to shut down. So Tiara tells her, this is what Aikeem mirrors. And he mirrors her so well. They do the exact same thing. And we seen it in this episode. We seen it. But he didn't do it to his mom. He did it to Tiara. Because he was mad at his mom. So he took it out on her. And so Grandma Venus says that she agreed with Tiara. So there's that conversation that's happening at the dinner table. Miss Celeste says to Mama Venus, because I think this was really unsettling to her, but she tells her that she would never invite one and not the other. So Mama Venus says that she feels like she should have time with her son. She feels like she should have time with her son alone because that's her only son. Anyway, Grandma Venus tells Miss Celeste that she understands Celeste's point of the separation, that Mama Venus wants to, you know, she want to be with one. She doesn't accept both of them. So she says, Grandma Venus says that wasn't right. And so Mama Venus tells him that it was him that wanted to have dinner one day, and he brought Tiara along. And so Tiara says that he wanted to have a conversation with his mom. That is why she went. She said, but Aikeem needed support, and that's why Tiara was there. And so at this point, Mama Venus is now being dismissive, and she's sitting there putting on her lipstick and rolling her eyes, and she's disassociating herself again and being very dismissive and off-putting towards Tiara. So then she turns to Aikeem and says, why didn't you feel like you can come and talk to me? And I was just like, I mean, based on what we see, that's probably why. But once again, that goes back to what Miss Tiara said about she feels like she didn't want to be disrespectful. He didn't want to be disrespectful to his mama. So again, I'm not going to disrespect my mom, but I'm damn sure going to disrespect my fiance. And this is where we see their entire relationship come to blows after this. So the argument between him and his mom get explosive. And she's not ready. And once again, she's invalidating his feelings. He's up at night. He's mad. He leaves the table. He's just angry. He's yelling and angry, and he doesn't want to deal with it. So he gets to shutting down. So then the next day he wakes up. It's like he's still angry. And Tiara goes in the restroom and check on him, and you hear a lot of noise, like somebody's breaking something. And so he doesn't want to talk about it. So those two kind of get into it, and he leaves. So she goes outside to talk to Aikeem, and then they get into it again. And so he was like, it is what it is. Now he's being very off-putting and dismissive. And so Venus goes outside to talk to Tiara, and he tells her, are you okay? And he was like, no. And so she asked Tiara, like, are you okay? And so Tiara was like, no, I'm not okay. No, he said he was good. She says, no, I'm not good. And so he goes in the house and he leaves. And at this point, she's very upset. She doesn't get upset yet. So Aunt Venus tells Tiara that you may need to tone it down. When she's in conflict with Aikeem, Tiara needs to tone it down. And so she was like, I'm the one that's taking all the backlash. And she says she goes through this all the time. And so she started to really lash out. And I want to say rightfully so. But she really started to lash out. And she was very angry. She was yelling around the house. And it was a lot. That was a lot. She goes in the house. She's screaming. She's like, no, no, no. She's very, very loud. And at this point, they really they got to meet with Tracy. But she's very, very angry. So Aikeem arrives in Tracy's office, but Tiara hasn't made it yet. And then Tiara then comes into the office, meet with Tracy. she tells Tracy what happened. Tracy tells Tiara that so Tracy tells Tiara that she has the pursuer distancer dynamic. And she says when a conflict comes up, the distancer, which is Aikeem, he's like I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it right again. And then they go and then they say never mind, I'm just going to shut down. And so the pursuer, which is Tiara, is like, oh hell no. And that's when things get bigger and bigger and bigger, hoping to get a reaction from the distancer. But all they're doing at this point is forcing them to shut down. Even further, she said all she's doing is forcing him to shut down even further, even longer. And so Tracy asks, how bad does he get? Tiara says he broke everything in the damn room. Now, at this point, she's pissed. She's absolutely pissed. And so Tracy asks, does he get physical on her side? And she says no, but Aikeem says yes. And this is probably where there's this angst with the family because there has been some physicality in their relationship. This is probably why his family is upset because there has been fighting on her end. I just don't think they need to be married at any time. I really think they need extensive therapy. I mean, not extent. I just think they need therapy, period. So Tracy asks what happens. Aikeem says she thinks she can put her hands on me. And I was like, wow. And so Tiara says the dramatics. Tiara was like the dramatics. At this point, she's pissed. And so Tracy tells her she's being pretty dramatic. And so Tracy tells them that you need to sit down, that you need to talk to your mom and your best friend, and you need to tell them what is currently happening in this relationship, and you need to figure out what you need to do. She tells Aikeem that he needs to have a conversation with his mom. So he goes outside and he's playing basketball, and so his aunt Nicole walks up, and he tells his aunt Nicole that Tiara says that she wished that he never proposed to her. And of course, Aunt Nicole usually takes his side. And so we meet the integrative mental health person, and her name is Tuella. And she is meeting with Aikeem and Mama Venus. And she asked she asked Mama Venus, tell me about the relationship you have with Aikeem. Sorry, y'all. And so Mama Venus says that their relationship is always good and that that's her baby. And it was just the way he was looking at his mom, like, that's cap. But I think that's how she sees it. That's how she see it. But he's having a different experience. His experience is totally different than what her experience is. So he tells his mom how he feels, and I'm just going to sum it up. He tells his mom how he feels about back then, what happened. She apologizes to him, and she says she will try and do better. And he feels like in that moment that he's getting his mom back. And he hugs her, kisses her, and she tells him she loves him, and he calls her mommy. And it was like, whoa, wow. Like, I think that's all what he's been looking for. And when he got it in that moment, that made him feel good. And so in the final session, Tracy asked, how did everybody's task go? He said that his task was amazing. He said he seemed happier. He seems happy, and he wants to believe her. You can see the glow in his face versus when he first got there. There was a level of sadness that he had. And once he had that breakthrough with his mom, he felt good. He looked different. It was like his face started to light up. Like you can literally see the glow on him. So Tiara felt like her meet up with her mom and her best friend made her feel like she could conduct herself in a better way. Akeem says that they feel Akeem feels like their biggest issue is communication. Tracy says their biggest issue is they are involved in an abusive cycle. She said tension, the incident, reconciliation, and the calm. She says it's exactly what happened. This is exactly what happened yesterday. She says she watched the abusiveness explode. She also says that um she says that they get to a moment where everything is okay until the next incident occurs. Tiara says there has to be a pause in moving forward in their engagement because at this point she was gonna say something to what's his name, to Akeem. But what she ended up telling Hakeem is there needs to be a pause in moving forward in this engagement. So Tracy suggests that they need to take a 90-day pause. And so this is where they go to the family, where they're actually supposed to do the acceptance of the family or give their blessing. They tell their family that they will take a 90-day pause in their engagement, and Mama Venus is smiling and saying, "Thank you, God." She feels like this is what they need. So, I want to say her mom. I think everybody had a spirit of relief because their relationship is more hurtful than loving. I think when it's good, it's good, but when it's bad, it's bad. And I tell y'all, those are not the best relationships to be in because I was in one of them. Well, when we were good, we were good. But when we wasn't good, we wasn't good. And that's not okay. And thankfully, thankfully, I removed myself from that. Anyway, so this is going towards the end. So it show, that what happens in the end. And so Tiara and Akeem did not pause their engagement but pushed the wedding by 1 year. While waiting to begin their therapy, they are learning to communicate without anger and no longer bring the past into their conversation. Akeem is now on better terms with his mom and says that she's living a healthier lifestyle. And I can absolutely get on board with this. Even though they pushed it back, sometimes you just want to go back a year later and see where they now. But I'm happy that he's in a better space with his mom. Y'all I will say this, doing Family and Fiance, I didn't think like I will watch it without thinking about it. But doing these episodes, they are so heavy. Like, they are so heavy. So sometimes this is why my tone changes and I'm not always rah, rah, rah like I really want to be, but Family and Fiance is heavy. I'm kind of glad I got a break from last week, but it's a lot. And I hope y'all like my content. Once again, please make sure y'all like the channel, please, on your way out, and I will see y'all in the next one. And don't forget that I already uploaded Ready to Love. So y'all have a good one. Bye.